Good evening to you. Max Track radar showing areas of freezing rain. We've got a few reports of accumulating rain in southern portions of Washington County. That ice up to about 1/3 of an inch thick and starting to see drooping trees. The branches being reported as not breaking yet, but they are certainly drooping on the trees. So that's in our northwestern counties. So not everyone completely out of the woods just yet, but farther south and east it becomes primarily rain, but another pretty big round of rain approaching Emporia, coming up from the south, starting mostly through El Dorado, continues to move up, so we'll get more rounds of this rain, and that is not the end of the rain. We've got a lot more forming over the Texas Panhandle into western Oklahoma. A little ice up in the Seneca area from our Spring Creek Golf Course Seneca cam. The lens there covered in a little bit of ice, but not a tremendous amount on the trees in Nemaha County. Look down into Jackson County, still looks mainly wet. We've been seeing this, had the ice accumulation a little bit more noticeable earlier today, and then as the day went on, we ended up with a lot of that melting. Partially, even when we got to 32 degrees, we were melting because the sun is up, and the sun is, even though it's through the clouds, we're still getting some sunlight, and that helps to melt some of that away. And so we did get about 1/4 of an inch, just not fully in the form of ice. We are now transitioning over to all rain, south to north, even though we're in the low 30s over the southern and southwestern counties. My concern of these areas are 31. As the sun goes down here in the next hour, we're going to be looking at possibly some slick spots returning. So we're not fully done with the slick road potential as we head through the night. I don't think it's going to be widespread. In some ways that could be worse. You could be traveling at full speed and hit a patch of ice. So watch for that in the northwestern half of the area tonight. A light easterly wind at about 5 miles per hour. Here's a look at the heavy rain over western Texas continuing to lift northward, adding to areas that have already picked up a tremendous amount of ice around Greensburg, Dodge City, Pratt areas up toward Hayes. Talked about that earlier, and that is in line to get more. We start to warm up, and we get this mixture of freezing rain and rain that isn't really accumulating much. So a lot of it's dripping off. You may see a little icicle here and there. That's for most of the area. And then again, the farther northwest, a little bit colder and a little bit more of that sticking. Future tracks showing that transition, though, over to mainly rain through the night into the morning tomorrow. And then we continue with primarily rain on Monday into Monday evening before this whole system pushes out. The clouds may linger around into Tuesday morning, but by Tuesday afternoon, we start to see some clearing across the region. Tonight we drop down to 34, periods of rain, kind of light and variable winds, but a little bit more of an east direction the early part of the night. May start to turn southeast or even southerly by tomorrow morning as we start to pull in some milder temperatures for a day. Your 7-day forecast up to 46 tomorrow and rain. For the MLK Day, it looks like a kind of a gloomy day for the most part. More rain off and on through about mid-evening. And then we dry out and cool down a little bit on Tuesday behind that front to 42. But then a more significant and long-lasting warm-up moves our way, and temperatures will be back in the 50s to around 60 by midweek, especially by about Thursday into Friday, followed by maybe a few showers on Friday and some breezy weather next weekend. But next weekend looks a lot quieter, a lot drier. The one good thing that we had today, we knew that we'd have the first half of the weekend dry. Now the second half of the weekend's been very wet, and within a half degree, we really dodged a bullet. You see what happened out west where they did not warm up, and that's what we didn't have to contend with, which is good. I mean, I think
in a lot of ways we're very lucky.
Oh, we were absolutely, because we did. A lot of people woke up this morning up north with a lot of ice on the trees, but the sunlight just helped melt it away.
Yeah, thank goodness for the sun.
Yeah.